Alright, so this was a plyo session straight out from the pile of work that I am yet to review from the last week or so. I am away at the moment and I finally found some time to actually get things done, so I should be able to kind of catch up with all the stuff that I am missing. And hopefully the sound of the sea can be heard in the background and make my monotone commentary a tad more bearable. So what I was doing here was the usual giant set where I was alternating the plyo stuff with some upper body stuff randomly picked. I wanted to get some handstands in and also some work for the triceps because I felt like it was a good pairing, even though the main focus was on the more explosive stuff. The hip discomfort that I've been feeling somewhat constantly over the last few weeks was present there, but it didn't negatively affect any of the exercises. Although I had to make a few changes because I didn't really want to get any kneeling jumps where I was going to go through large degrees of dynamic hip extension and flexion. So I only kept it at the jumping stuff that I was comfortably able to perform to a decent extent. So I did some weighted jumps and some one-leg jumps where I was actually staying in a more conservative range where I wasn't jumping as far out, so that didn't require my body to compensate in all kind of weird ways by bending my torso forward and placing some extra stretch over there, because it's not really something that I should be doing anyways, hip pain or not. And then the work for the shoulder mainly was some isometric stuff on the handstands and some targeted stuff for the long head of the tricep, getting the elbow also through some flexion and extension. In here, what I'm aiming at with the cable is just to keep some constant tension in there and just get as many reps as I can with decent form and the load that allows me to get about 8 to 10 good looking reps in. The jumping work was actually feeling good. None of the exercises actually gave me any problem, so even though I had to swap a few things around, I didn't really put any lateral stuff in, just to be on the safe side. I felt like the weighted jumps and also the bounces, the pogo jumps at the end of the giant set were actually, springy enough. Funnily enough, I think I remember that these handstands were the only exercise that actually were making me feel like there was some kind of tightness over there, and that's mainly due to the fact that in the kick up part of the set, I do go through kind of a fast shortening and extension of the hip, and that probably puts a bit of pressure in there. And also, as it has been rightly pointed out in the comments on one of my previous videos, what I am experiencing now is a lot of sciatic pain. So it has a bit less to do with the piriformis being tight, even though that is present and I do feel that, especially on movements like the kick up for the handstand. But sometimes I am in a position where there isn't really any hip flexion or extension involved, and I do feel that kind of feeling, kind of shooting down the bottom, the side of the leg towards the knee. So it has got to the point where the nerve is kind of pissed as well, which is not ideal, and I have to do something about that. So since this commentary has been recorded about a week away from the session that is passing by right now, I have been starting to implement what's called nerve flossing. So a bunch of exercises that are targeting the ranges of motion in a more innocuous way and should hopefully teach the nerve to chill out, man. Come on. Ciao.